Mock draft season is unfortunately upon us, and yes, the Vikings do need some offensive line help. Tale as old as time. Vikes need help on the old line. Great. So NFL draft maven Dane Brugler over The Athletic. He collabed with our guy Chad Graff. I did a mock draft for the Vikings, every single pick. Now, not going to give away the whole thing. It's behind a paywall. Pay $4 a month for good journalism. Support Dane, Chad, Arif. It's $4, right? You spend $20 a day on $10 of Chipotle on Grubhub. So, yeah. But the Vikings, from the graphic, went number 1, Gregory Rousseau at 14. And then the third round, number 79 overall, Tennessee guard, Trey Smith. Oh, baby. He's so big. He's got his own gravitational pull. I love it. And yes, the first thing about Trey Smith is scheme fit. Much better suited for a power man gap scheme versus zone, especially an outside zone heavy team like the Vikings. But like we said earlier in the week, get good players, build your scheme around them, not the other way around. So let's talk about the pride of Tennessee today. So Trey Smith, 21 years young, 6'6", 325, former 5-star recruit from Jackson, Tennessee, was the number 4 tackle and number 14 overall recruit nationally in the class of 2017. Just amazing. Stayed in state with the Volunteers, started right away for the Vols as a true freshman right guard. Also, how'd you like to be a 17, 18-year-old kid just stepping on campus, and right away you're thrown into the big bad SEC inside? It's just crazy, right? Shifted to left tackle in 2018, but his season was unfortunately cut short after 7 games when they discovered blood clots in his lungs. Got treatment. Cleared to return for his junior year. Took over at left guard in 2019, and frankly has not looked back. Been an absolute road grader in the run game. Pass protection's been on point as well. He's only allowed 17 pressures and one sack over 2 seasons. One. And also your quarterback is Jared Guantano. So, yeah, okay. 756 pass blocking reps, 1 sack. That's amazing. And also, it's the SEC, baby. Every single week, he is facing NFL level talent or future NFL level talent. So his pass sets are on point, and that's what matters most to me about the Vikings when they're looking for a guard. 2-time first team All SEC. Also, love the kid off the field, too. Has his degree, active in the community, just a great leader. On top of being a great player, just a good, humble person, a real character asset for the Vikings. So the question is potentially, why is he going to fall? So I think that he does have back end of the first round talent, except I think that he is going to fall significantly into day 2. But health and the lungs are the major concern. He needs the combine to happen so that teams can do medical checks. I mean, teams will want their own staff, their own doctors, their own specialists to get an evaluation on his lungs. And the fact that he's played relatively asymptomatic for the last 2 years, I think that is important. But also, with COVID-19, with the lungs, all that stuff. A lot of questions. And also, I think that he could fall because of the perceived scheme fit issues. Like, even though if you watch his tape, like, he does have decent movement skills, but it's not Randall McDaniel out there. Like, he's not going to be a big time pulling guard, but also he's not Deontay Brown. So Trey Smith, like, he has more than enough functional quickness and mobility to succeed with the Vikings, notably short area. So in a phone booth, first 2 steps, he's great. But also, if you're judging him how he blocks second and third level, 10 to 15 yards downfield, okay. I mean, it's a good problem to have. Like, you're probably 10 to 15 yards downfield because Trey Smith buried some guy on the first level, right? And if the Vikings do land Smith, frankly, I think they would be idiots to just treat him like a normal zone guard. Like, having him do the things that they have Ezra Cleveland do as a guard, even though he moves like a tackle because he is a tackle, it would be idiotic, right? It's basically the inverse of what the Lions did to our guy Jonah Jackson in the 3rd round. Coming out of Ohio State by way of Rutgers, was a left guard for the Buckeyes. JK 2K in 2019. He was the left guard. Wyatt Davis was the right guard. They were phenomenal. I loved him. He was a perfect pure zone scheme fit for the Vikings. Would have been a day 1 start at left guard. But then the Lions drafted him in the 3rd round. And then they ran a lot of man concepts. And it's like, oh, what happened? Oh, weird. Jonah Jackson struggles in a scheme that doesn't suit his talents. Just kind of crazy. Also, Lions fans are like, oh, Jonah Jackson sucks. Well, no poop. Even though he would have thrived, he would have been phenomenal. Just imagine Jonah Jackson in place of Dakota Dozier all season. Super Bowl, baby. Yeah. So now, stop putting square pegs in round holes. The problem is having the hole first. What you should do is get the peg and then carve the hole around it. Crazy. I know. And the Vikings ran about 60% zone for the running plays in 2020. And if the Vikings do draft Smith, I would expect him to be a day one starter, either at left or right guard. And that might go 50-50 with Cristobal. Right? 50% man, 50% zone. So more man, more gap, more counter Trey, more power running, more slobber knocker, old school football. Let's go. Like catering your scheme to the talent you have up front. Yeah. More, and also, if you are going to run zone, how about some more inside zone as opposed to wide zone, outside zone, etc. So I think writing guys like Trey Smith off is really, frankly, just incorrect, just because they don't fit exactly what the Vikings did up front this year. Plus, he does thrive in one-on-one passing sets, like him up against some of the big bad tackles in the SEC. It's great. And also pushing the line of scrimmage on running plays when you need that yard, when you need that inch. Both of those were deficiencies for the Vikings in 2020. Dane Brugler saw that. Hopefully Spielman does too. And Vikings fans, we need to open our minds. Free your mind. The rest will follow. Stop writing off offensive linemen just because they don't fit the scheme, right? I think Trey would be a day one starter for the Vikings, would be monster value if they get him in the third round. If all of his medical checks are good to go with the Vikings staff, would absolutely love to see it, man. Would absolutely love to see it. But your thoughts, Trey Smith, Vikings, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.